All right. So we're gonna be profiling Satellarknight today. I took this to locals this week, and I went X2. I beat Pendulum Magician twice, and I beat Trickstars, and then I lost to ABC and 60 cards. There were a lot of misplays on my part against ABC. I probably should have won. Against 60 cards, though, I just couldn't get any of my Reborn cards, and that's why I lost. I just couldn't get to a Call of the Haunted or a Monster Reborn or a Soul Charge. And there was like one big issue with the deck I'll go over when I get to it, but although in all, I think this deck's actually pretty like viable for a local. You can definitely take it and do pretty well with it. I think traps are like pretty decent right now because 3 Torrential, just like going second, Torrential is one of the best traps in the game to have right now. If you can back it up with a strike, it doesn't even matter. Which you're going to say is pretty situational, but it happens. It's pretty good. But anyway, it's standard Satellarknight, 3 Deneb, 3 Altair, 3 Nuke, and then 1 Vega. A lot of people like to play 11 Tellers, with 2 Vega as the last one. I only play 10 because I'm like the least lucky person in this game or something. I play triple Demise, and I just want to minimize my monster count as much as possible, so that's why I only play 1 Vega. There have been arguments made for like Sirius and Alsam, but I think those cards are like really okay at best. Like Alsam's like pretty good, but again, like I'd rather draw a trap and off my Demise. And Sirius is pretty decent, but he just sucks if you open it. So like that's why I just play these because these are the best ones. Altair is really the only one out of this you don't want to see in your opening hand. And even if you do, it's all right unless you see him in multiples, which I always do for some reason. Then triple carded Demise. The ultra rare one, not the secret, even though I just pulled 2 of it. Card's insane. Speeds up your deck. So you just draw traps. Like, even though like the only bad thing about it is like if you don't have a Call of the Haunted or a Reborn or a Soul Charge, you will just lose because you need to have a play afterwards. But if you like open a Nuclear High 3 traps or Nuclear High 4 traps in this, like or Nuclear High 3 traps in this, then you're like just set. Like really, Unuke's the best one to see with this. 2-potted Duality. I was debating between Duality and Desires for the longest time, and then I had 2 games back to back. First game banished all 3 Deneb. Second game banished all 3 Altairs, and I was like, all right, I'm never running that card ever again. I can definitely see an argument for Desires in this deck, and if you prefer it over, go ahead. I just
unlucky.
I just am unlucky, so I just played these. Again, like Desires takes away from the deck's grind game a little bit, but like it's pretty good because it is a +1. And if like I've had hands before where I've resolved this and a Desires in the same turn, and like you just go so plus, it's ridiculous. But again, like Desires definitely hurts this deck a little bit in just the grind game, and you can banish things. And then for the spells, I'm playing Rhoda, obviously. Upstart because you need to see Deneb, and I just like consistency. Reborn and Soul Charge. These 2 cards are insane in the deck just because they all get their effects when they're summoned, and they're just it's really good. These also like if you draw a Nook can help you make like first turn plays like a Tsukiyomi play or a Isolde play to get a card. They're pretty good first turn. I love these 2 cards in the deck, and I was just so happy when Reborn was back because I could play it in this deck, and I think this deck abuses Monster Reborn really well, along with a Solemn Judgment. I just wanted to play a deck that could play both of them effectively, and I know this deck could, because I didn't want to like Monster Reborn to get banned on the next list, and I didn't at least play Satellarknight when it was illegal. So, traps 3 alpha.
Shit ton of traps.
Yeah, get ready for a stack, but this is pretty self-explanatory. I've seen arguments to cut it down to 2. I think it's needed at 3 to stop cards like Evenly Match and Twin Twister. 3 Call of the Haunted. I wasn't playing the 4th Oasis, but I definitely should. You definitely should. I'll tell you what card I would cut when we get through the rest of the traps, but triple call needed, standard in this deck. 1 Heavy Storm Duster. You're gonna think this is stupid, but I watched the list that got top 8 in El Salvador, I think, at regional. He was playing one of this. I really do like this over the one because I was originally playing just 1 MST. I think this card's probably just better because it just gets rid of 2 cards. So like, I don't know. It's interesting, but
it's a good one.
It's
for
a
2.
good. Yeah,
I
it's
would
a good
play
card.
it more often. Like it's definitely better than Twin Twister in this deck because you're playing Demise and
because you also don't want to discard that much. So like, yeah, and then I think probably the best trap that came back for this deck was Triple Torrential because this card's just insane. When you combo it with Trevor or Delteros and just going second, this card is really strong. If you can resolve it going second, like it'll put you right back in the game and catch you up really well. 2 Fiendish Chain, you could probably cut these all together, but I'm going to cut 1 for an Oasis of Dragon Souls because I need to see more of my Reborn cards. and that's why like I lost a few games just because I didn't see one. So yeah, definitely cut one of these for an Oasis if you want. There's other cards you could cut too. Like I'm only playing one bottomless, but you could probably cut this too because this card is really lackluster right now. It's okay against Magicians. It's okay against Trickstars if you can hit Lycoris. And it's okay against like the 60 card deck. Like if you're building your deck to beat more 60 card decks, you could probably play more of these. But my deck was mainly built to beat Pendulum Magicians, which you'll see right here because I made 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance, because this card is just insane for this deck. This deck doesn't really get hurt by this. There are some times when you'll get hurt by it, and I actually had to Heavy Duster this away so I could activate a Rhoda that I top decked because I didn't have a Call of the Haunted. But I think this card's just insane still. It's really, really good in the format. And then Imperial Order, I would probably just cut this for the 3rd Anti-Spell because this card does hinder you. If you don't have a Call of the Haunted, your spells won't do anything, so you can't play these. But other than that, it's just an amazing card. At least side it though. So,
Bouncing back with continuous
backing it back with Trevere is broken, especially Anti-Spell, because then they just can't activate it. It's a lock. So Triple Strike, Warning, Judgment, the Fearsome 5. I don't know what you want to call this. The Holy Trinity, I guess. Yeah. So. Again, that's why I wanted to play this deck. Like I have a few hands where I do open all 3 of these, and there was one hand where I opened this, and my opponent just wanted to kill himself. So, like, yeah, I brought myself down to 400 life points off of Judgment and Strikes and stuff, which was great. I still won that match, which was awesome. And then for the extra deck, we're playing these because we're cool. Yeah. And then I'm playing 2-Bat. 2's the perfect number. You don't need more than 2. He's good though. He helps you get to Driver with 1 card. So
Bat. That's actually really funny. He looks like a bat too. Yeah. That's mad.
I
never thought about it that way.
I just call him Bat, but he's Bat minus. He's good after you do your Demise play just to get Driver out, and then once you do that, you're pretty much in control of the game. 1 diamond, this could probably be Borreload or Saryuja. Definitely Saryuja, I would probably cut this for, because this card's just not really that good right now. I mean, like, it's good against 60 cards. I wouldn't even say it's good against 60 cards, because they'll just summon Snow and book it. But, like,
yeah.
I would just play Saryuja over this. And, I mean, against Pendulum Magicians, it's kind of lackluster. Delteros, he's still good. I love this card. He's more broken with Lynx than Triver. It's just, you never really summon him.
Do you not like the Ghost?
I like the alties. Like, they all came in alti except for Bat, and then Triple Triver because he's the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh, and this is the reason this deck can compete with its anti-spell lock. And if you link this off for an Isolde, oh man, that's just insane. Sook for first turn plays if you need to draw more cards. He's pretty good. He's actually an argument for running Desires, because if you play Desires, then you can't draw in. You have a less chance of drawing into a dead card. Like, I actually drew into Duality and Desires off his 2 draws one time, and I was just like, please kill me now. Because, like, you can't activate them because you special summon. So, like, that's another reason you could play Desires. Like, that's the thing I like about Desires, is you could bounce Anti-Spell or Order back and just activate Desires if you Trevored them. So, yeah, that's another reason. Just there's something to think about. The Utopia package, I just think this is really good. You could probably play other stuff over it. It's not really needed. I never made it all day. Tornado Dragon, good rank 4. I actually, against the Pendulum Magician player, I had Anti-Spell, but he had a full scale already, so I just made this, popped his Purple Poison, he popped this, and then I flipped Anti-Spell on his draw phase, so he just scooped after that. Baguska, alright in this deck if you can build like a board of links and then summon this to stun your opponent. It's pretty good, but again, I don't think I made it all day. And then the few links I played, Decode. This could probably be Borreload or Saryuja again. Like, the link, Saryuja's just insane in this deck. He fixes your hands. He summons monsters. Like, he's insane in any deck. Don't get me wrong, but like, he's really good in this deck too.
If you own one, yep.
Yeah, if you own one. Isolde, definitely play this. If you link this off with Triver to summon it, you're just gonna go so plus. It's ridiculous. And then I played Underclock just so you could link the Tsukiyomi off if you needed to. Because I didn't want to play Proxy because Underclock gave you the zone.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. The only thing again I would change is adding a Borreload and a Saryuja, because Borreload is just so useful in like matchups like ABC and True Draco, which this deck does have struggle against. That's what I would do.
Our crappy side decks, like we said, we don't have good ones.
2 Veilers. Now I would. When you side these in, you got to make sure you side out the Demise, so you never draw into these. That's what I did against Magicians. I just side these in, game 2 and 3, and side Demise out, if I'm going second anyway, because it's good against Electromite. Kaiju and this. I sided them in, drew into them off demise, and have to discard them. Artifact package. Actually helped me win a game against Trickstars because I called the Haunted for this and popped his Lilybell, and he couldn't beat over it because it was too big. Scythe didn't really do much. I would play 2 Moral Talk and a Scythe because this is alright, but I don't know. And then, yeah, that was alright. The game I sided this in, I drew into both of these, and I was like, what the hell?
When I was playing
Yeah.
Artifacts, I was like, I drew freaking Lancia, Scythe, and Moral Talk, and 2 Sanctums. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And then, like, the only other spells I play are just, like, triple MST. This is bad. I wouldn't really recommend. And then, then Raigeki Darkhold just for going second against Pendulum Magicians. Like, I usually side going second cards because, like, the deck sucks going second. But,
every deck does this format.
That's pretty much it for the list. I like the deck a lot. It's my favorite deck again. That's why I have this map. But, just let me know what you guys think of it down in the comment section. I think it's still, like, it's not a top deck by any means. Don't think I'm saying that at all. I just think the deck, you can take it to a local, you can do pretty well with it, and you can have some fun.
Exactly.
So that's pretty much all we're here for on this channel. So
yep.
thanks for watching, guys. Rogue Scrubs out.